what are the blockers right now? Like when you step back and look at the projects you're working on in the different countries that your company touches, like what's holding people back from actually really truly adopting digital workflows?
Yeah, thanks. Maybe I'll take this question first. Again, two of the blockers. First, we are talking about cost. These are always a traditional barrier in terms of our digital adoption. Second, we are looking at a skilled workforce, right? So when we talk about adoption, we talk about change management. There needs to be in tandem in terms of the reskilling and upskilling of the workforce. As I said, these are the two key barriers. Beyond that, I would say that people are now much more receptive to digital adoption. And the key challenge here is how to scale this adoption, right? I would want to use the word democratization across our internal business unit. It's not just the operational guys. We are also talking about even our HR department. How can they adopt and streamline some of our digital platform and making sure that everybody stays productive within the organization, and also being Singapore at the center and the HQ of our organization, how then we bring this skill set and knowledge transfer to the other regional office that we have, such as Vietnam and Malaysia. Yeah, that's the situation right now that we are having.
And it's a really similar situation that we're seeing in a lot of different regions as well, where now we started laying the roots for digital technology, and now it's more of a conversation of who now has access that didn't before. Like what sort of choices are we making about adopting technology and how can we scale that? And you alluded to this a minute ago with regards to how the pandemic has kind of transformed that. Can you tell me a little bit more about the early days as far as how the digital adoption was going?
Yeah, maybe perhaps I just want to put in context. I think I love to joke about this. You know, Mr. COVID-19 has always been our chief transformation officer.
Yeah, it's true though. It's a silver lining in a really difficult situation.
That's right. So I think before that, we talked alone about doing a virtual collaboration, right? Doing things on cloud. People are a bit more resistant. And when the pandemic hits, COVID-19, and even today we are living in uncertain times, right? Today we talk about supply chain disruption, labor crunch. So people know that we can't do what we have been doing 5 or 10 years ago, and even before COVID. So definitely we see a lot of value there coming in terms of digitalization and the adoption. For example, again, if I fall back on the collaboration, there's a much more virtual collaboration taking on today. Again, across the value chain, the ecosystem, not only within our internal organization, even having with our client today across different geographical location. We feel that this will give a value add, not only to us as a company, but also to the client, being able to communicate, collaborate, coordinate across different geographical location just by doing digital collaboration. That's one. Then we talk about the sharing of data or files on cloud, right? Now you have access to all this data on cloud anytime, anywhere. And that's where we are changing some of the work culture, even in Singapore, where people are ready to be able to work anytime, anywhere at the same time, and they are empowered with all this data and making decision on the fly. I think that's the value also to the organization today.